This lesson explains the meaning of negative exponents. In a previous lesson, you learned to simplify quotients of powers by subtracting their exponents. So for this example, you'd have x to the power of 3 minus 5, which would be x to the power of negative 2. The exponent is negative, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Thinking about the definition, an exponent tells you how many times to use the base as a factor. For example, a to the power of 3 is 3 factors of a. But you can't have negative 2 factors of x. It turns out negative exponents are inverses, and the final answer is 1 over x squared. In order to understand, let's look at the expression again. X to the power of 3 over x to the power of 5 means 3 factors of x over 5 factors of x. 3 factors of x in the numerator cancel 3 factors of x in the denominator, leaving 2 factors of x in the denominator, which is 1 over x to the 2. So it makes sense that a negative exponent is the same as an inverse. So when an expression has a factor with a negative exponent, it must be rewritten so the exponent is positive. Since negative exponents represent inverses, when there's a negative exponent in the numerator, it's moved to the denominator and made positive. When there's a negative exponent in the denominator, it's moved to the numerator and made positive. Here are some more examples to help you understand how to rewrite expressions with negative exponents. In the first example, the negative exponent applies only to the variable. So the factor of x squared is moved to the denominator, and the constant 3 stays in the numerator. For the second example, because of the parentheses, the negative exponent applies to both factors 3x. So 3x squared is moved to the denominator for 1 over 9x squared. Be sure to notice the difference between these two expressions. In the third example, a over b to the negative 2 is rewritten as its inverse, b over a to the positive 2. Then the power of 2 is applied to both variables, and the final expression is b squared over a squared. For the first example, there's a negative exponent in the denominator. Move it to the numerator for 3a b to the 2. In the second example, there are negative exponents in both the numerator and the denominator. Write the inverse of both powers. And the final expression is 5e to the 2 over d to the 3. For the third example, there's a product of powers. So add the exponents, 3 plus negative 5, for negative 3, x to the negative 2. Then rewrite the negative exponent for negative 3 over x to the 2. This lesson explained the meaning of negative exponents. And this lesson was brought to you by the Math Fun Academy, its continuing mission. to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new math and new equations, to boldly go where no math student has gone before.